go. This family is our fortress.
Last time we saw you with James Cameron, he'd left you bobbing in the Atlantic. What convinced you to go back in the water for him?
I mean, it's Avatar. It's Avatar and it's Jin, and he writes the most phenomenal roles for women, and I loved the first film so much. And he called me and he said, let me describe the character to you, and he described her as a female goddess, warrior, leader, and I'm like, oh my God, stop right there. And then he mentioned the element of free diving and learning to breath hold, and he said, but you don't really have to do that if you don't want to. We have doubles, you can do as much or as little of it as you fancy. And I said, hang on, are you telling me that I could learn how to breath hold if I did this? And he said, well, you could if you wanted. And I was like, yes, I'm definitely in.
And you actually set a record for holding your breath.
I did. Yes.
How long was it?
7 minutes and 14 seconds.
That's extraordinary.
Yeah, I was very proud of myself, and it's not something that you can try at home. It was 3 full weeks of training every single day that got me to that long breath hold, and it just meant that we could all perform with comfort and feel safe under the water, and also just free to do our jobs. I mean, it's the most amazing experience.
I hear her heartbeat. Just so close.
What a change. You are playing your own daughter in this film.
Yes.
How did that go?
Well, Jim and I had lunch probably in 2010, and we talked about creating this girl who felt more at home in the forest with the animals, the creatures, the plants, the trees, and she would have some connection with Grace. We weren't quite sure how that would work. So I was incredibly thrilled to be given such a challenge, and then I luckily had a lot of time to develop Kiri, just unearthing my own 14-year-old. I was this tall when I was 11, so I remember wanting to disappear the way Kiri sometimes does.
This is our home!
I need you with me.
At the time, Titanic was the biggest film ever made. This is now becoming the biggest film ever made. What's it like stepping back into blockbuster territory?
It's very exciting to be part of something that lives on and really feeds people's imaginations. And, you know, people want great films, they want great entertainment. I think especially now, you know, times are hard, it's a tricky world that we're living in, and Avatar, you know, promises to be an extraordinary event.
Why do you come to us? I just want to keep my family safe.
This is not your first time working with James Cameron, of course. You did Aliens together. How's the experience changed in the intervening years?
Well, you know, it was a very playful experience this time out. His kids were about the same age as we kids were, and so he brought so much verisimilitude to our scenes, you know, that we'd be rolling our eyes and, you know, giving each other a hard time, but when the chips were down, we'd really come together and do anything to protect and save each other. So I felt it was a very personal film for him, and that we were his Avatar family.
And you've been out to Australia recently doing your own new series. Tell us, how was that? Good?
Yeah, it was fantastic. The whole crew and cast was a dream. And I got to go to places like the Upper Hunter Valley and live near young racehorses and stuff like that. So we had a wonderful time.
Let's get it done.
As a British TV viewer, Neighbours coming back. You excited about that?
I mean, I just can't imagine a world without Neighbours. You know, after all those years, like, how can you possibly say goodbye to Harold? You can't. I think it's a great thing. Bring it on.
Would you like to be in it?
Yes! Hands down, I'd love it.
Maybe you and Carly or someone could team up.
No, me and Guy, you see. It's me and Guy Pearce all the way. It was meant to be. I was obsessed with Mike when I was 11 years old. Yeah, we have to make that dream come true.